Once upon a time, there was an angry bald plumber named Hank. Hank was a man of few words and many pipes. He spent most of his time fixing other people's problems and tinkering with his ham radio. Hank had a passion for radio communication, but he was always annoyed by the interference in his area. One day, Hank decided he had had enough. He knew it was time to take matters into his own hands. He put on his overalls, grabbed his toolbox, and marched down to City Hall. He demanded to speak to the mayor and the city council about the radio interference problem in his neighborhood. He spoke fiercely and passionately, his anger building up inside. The council listened intently to Hank's complaints and tried to come up with a solution. But Hank was already too angry to listen. He stormed out of City Hall and went home to his workshop, where he started to brainstorm a way to fix the problem. As he tinkered and experimented, Hank's anger grew into a fervor. He became convinced that the only way to get rid of the radio interference was to ban all noise producers. So, he started a radio campaign, rallying others that felt similarly, until the country was swept up in a wave of fear over noise pollution. Hank became a leader of the noise ban movement, and he used his new power to ban all noisy appliances, machinery, and even music from public places. People quietly complied, afraid of Hank and his followers. Life became silent, but peaceful. Hank enjoyed the silence in his home, but he was never satisfied. He wanted total silence for the entire country. As the years went by, Hank's rule became increasingly oppressive. People became more and more isolated and afraid to speak out against him. Eventually, a group of young rebels plotted a protest against Hank's regime. On the day of the protest, Hank was furious. He called in the police and the army and ordered them to put an end to the rebellion. But it was too late. The people had finally had enough of living in fear of Hank and the quiet. The protest grew into a massive uprising, and Hank was forced to step down from power. The country returned to its former, noisy ways, but with newfound appreciation for the sounds of life. Although Hank was a brilliant and talented plumber and ham radio operator, his pursuit of silence became his undoing. In the end, the noisemakers of the world won out over the angry bald plumber.